Hello again, F1 fans. So we got a new model from Sparky, and I did a more modern F1 review of the Tarmac Works. It was kind of a letdown, so let's see if this is any better. Oh, let's see, we have official licensing approval by Redbull Racing. Supposedly this car actually won the championship in 2022. It was Max Verstappen's second championship, and it was Red Bull Racing's fifth championship. Okay. Not much else on the box, really. I commend them for having a small box. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit the size of all the other boxes these things come in. And it also has this quick release mechanism, which I'm a fan of. And there's nothing really sensitive on these things, I don't think. I don't see any tow hooks or anything like that, so I guess we can take it off the base if we get it clockwise. Yeah, clockwise. But what is not so great is it doesn't tell you what the car is on the actual model itself. So if for some reason someone sold you this without the box, you'd have to really be a fan of F1 to know what the heck it is. I read an Autosport article on this car, and this car had so many changes throughout the season that I don't expect any of these photographs to match. But so far, not so bad. Well, now there's no two wings there. They've changed the side pod. They changed this whole rear wing like 4 different times, if not more. So, and actually this model's so dark, it's hard to say. So the car itself is powered by a V6 of 1.6 liters, direct injection, 15,000 RPM limiter. Let's see, we're making around 900 horsepower. It also has a kinetic and thermal energy recovery system. So that's pretty much what I learned. The main gist is these things are huge. They're very big vehicles now. You know, what's nice here is it actually has a driver's helmet. Right? So if this is an accurate representation of a man's head, this is a big vehicle. Alright, let's start with the wheels. I also learned through that Autosport article is the reason why there's no openings on this wheel is now they force all the cooling of the brakes to come in through the front and exit out the back on the inside of the car, whereas in the past decades it just came in through the front and shot out the side, you know, outwards. But maybe that's creating turbulence to other cars trying to pass or something. So basically all the air it takes in has to flow over the body, and then it gets kicked up a lot, I guess, to not disturb, you know, people drafting. Alright, well, let's see. The tire looks nice. It's got good curvature to it. It's got the P0 and Pirelli printed very nicely and concentric as well. Yeah, that wheel cover's got some dimples and whatnot. Maybe a air valve, I'm not sure. Boy, let's see. Even this wing changed shape later on. It became an S later, this little curve. This looks like a tampo print, so that's good. This is a decal though, right here, I think. Let's see, I'm just looking here at the body. It's a metallic blue, and this is a decal, but so far it seems okay. There's no air gaps. So the base is plastic. Yeah, it has to be to have such thin veins here. These barge board things. So all plastic. You can see the metal axle holding the front wheels together. And it's quite sculpted. There's a multitude of changes going on under here as well. So it's crazy. If you want to look up the Autosport article, nice renderings of what the changes were. Okay, let's go around to the front. I mean, being plastic, it's okay. Naturally, there's supposed to be air passing, I think, through these veins, but it's so small. It's a small model, so you can't really do that. Unfortunately, here, the decal, there's a big fold in the decal itself. I think that's an air pocket right there. Yeah, you saw me move it. So, not really a fan of that stuff. I really wish everyone did tampo prints. I mean, if a green light first, Hot Wheels does tampo prints, right? But Greenlights and Auto Worlds aren't super expensive models, and they're all tampo printed. This model costs relatively a lot of money compared to those brands. 3-4 times as much, and it's got decals, so I think that's unacceptable. Okay, well, how about this logo here? I can't focus on it. I don't know what that is. Some sort of logo of some sort. You can see the wrinkliness of the decal here, all up in here. This must be Max Verstappen's car, right? Being number 1. It's nice that they got printing on the inside surface there, so that's nice. Hard Rock Cafe's still around, huh? Alright, some camera, maybe camera bulges or something. That whole roll cage system, and there's printing on that even. This is black plastic, so that's pretty impressive. I guess these must be the mirrors. It's just plastic, but there's some silver on the backside, so that's nice. What I like about silver painted mirrors is the paint never falls off, whereas some of those shiny stickers I've had fall off on some of my models. It's more realistic with the shiny sticker, but you might lose it. So this helmet is nicely done. It's, you know, all covered in graphics, probably a decal. But it actually has some molded like rib in the center, and the mask or the visor is blacked out. So that's pretty impressive. And then you can see a say-belt system here leading into the body. Really cool. They mimic the top torso. And then the seatbelt buckle there on the bottom. I'm not really seeing a steering wheel, one of those weird D-shaped or rectangular. No, totally blanked out. Would have been cool if they put a decal one there though. But I guess it's better have the decals on the outside of the model than on the inside. Okay, yeah, I can see this air gap here, right? It's just a panel gap. Alright. What about this? No, I was hoping that would be recessed, but it's not. Alright, let's see if we can see anything else. And there's some printing way up in there as well. It's so dark. I gotta get the flashlight again. Let's see, so that's all blanked off there. It's understandable. Yeah, this rear wing area, it's... Wow, well that is unexpected. I thought that was going to be blanked off right here, these two double-decker wings. But no, there's air passing through. Yeah, very impressive. So this is the exhaust pipe, but pretty lame looking because there's no indication that that's a tube. That's just, you know, a kielbasa cut off right there. It's just cut off crudely as well. So that could have been a lot better. I mean, this is worse than a Hot Wheels. Alright. There's a wing up in here, or maybe that's the suspension. Yeah, it's the suspension. It's nice that the arms, you know, the suspension arms, a lot of them are floating in the air, so that's nice. The Tarmac Works one, which we'll see later, just has a much cruder front suspension system, whereas this one actually still looks like a suspension system. It just has an axle roll running through it. Alright, this rear wing continuing on. It's nice that they were able to get Oracle underneath there. And also on the inside surfaces. You know, I could definitely expect them to be there, but it's nice that they went through the trouble of those inside surfaces. That probably wasn't easy to get on. Top of the wing as well. I have no idea what Bybit is. What is that? Is that like a Bitcoin competitor or something? This little vertical strut thing. I think it's connected. I can't tell. Maybe it's a separate piece after all. But it's pretty much straight. It's in line with this vein here. So it's nice. It's just that it has decals. If it was tampo printed, it would be a lot nicer, right? It's just these decals are going to probably crack someday. Well, let's get some other F1. Oh. Yeah, there's some sort of drag. You can see the rear tire. It was holding up on something. It is capable of rolling, but I wouldn't call it's not going to win any Hot Wheels races, that's for sure. Alright, time to get dizzy watching this thing spin around. We'll start with some old ones. So Mini GT has a 77 Lotus 78. unfortunately, Mini GT almost never writes the name of the car on their models, so that's why I have stickers on these things. It's really weird. I don't know why they do that. Here's a Kyosho of a F1 TF107, which apparently ran in 2007. I just threw that up there because you don't think of like a Toyota as an F1 constructor. Never successful, at least. Kyosho did do this Red Bull one. This is an RB5, and that was from the 2009 season. I think Sebastian Vettel or something like that was running this thing. So, just an evolution. And then here's that Tarmac Works. And this is the 2021 McLaren MCL35M. So, looking at the bottom of that, being 1 year apart, I don't know, I have a suspicion there should be more going on the bottom of this one than, I mean, just look at the night and day difference of detail, right? This has now become a comparison video, apparently. Yeah, I don't know, it just seems like cruder. If you look at the thinness of the wing as I twist this, because it's a curved wing, it's pretty thin plastic. I feel this is definitely thicker. It's not as bad as a Hot Wheels, but it's, you know, it's thicker than this. The tires are pretty good on both, though, I think. But the main detractor, I think, is look at this suspension system here. It's all blanked off like the engine bay of an M2 machines, right? It's just, it looks like a toy. This looks more like a scale model. So yeah, there's a certain crudeness to this for Tarmac Works. But in the defense, this Tarmac Works, I believe, well, you know, maybe they did cost around the same. If they cost around the same where you live, you might as well just jump right to Sparky. It seems like Sparky did a better job. They just want to make scale models more. Alright, so now the overhead, though, is like, you'll see the size. I'm going to line up all the rear axles here. Yeah. So these are just behemoths. They're giant vehicles. Put that on the right way. So as usual with Sparky, decals. That's what makes me not want to buy them, and that's why I don't have many of them. But what is nice about this is clearly, technically better as far as its sculpting, its molding capabilities over that Tarmac Works. Whatever factory is making these is simply a better factory. You know, all these plastic pieces are thinner. I also like the fact that they put the helmet in there. It's not necessary to have a driver, but it's kind of neat. That Kyosho Japanese car, the Toyota, also had a driver. So I think that's a nice touch. Yeah. I suppose one thing maybe that would be nice is if the front axle was painted black. You can just see how chrome it is, you know, in contrast to the black suspension arms. If they wanted to hide it better, you know, just paint it black. That would have been nice. Okay, well, I'm not sure if I'm going to get the other ones. I don't even follow F1. I don't even watch it. So, but it's nice to know that Sparky put out other castings. I bought this locally, and they had the Alfa Romeo and the Mercedes, and they were physically different forms. So if you really like the evolution of F1 and you want to see the form of these vehicles, Sparky put in the effort on all their different F1 cars. But they were also riddled with decals. This one seemed like the closest thing to tampo printing, but the Alpha was just horrible looking with the decals. They're so shiny and stuff. So keep that in mind. Alright guys, well thanks for watching. Maybe in the future I'll get another F1 car, but not anytime soon. Alright, see you guys.